Well, this is something else. This is a first. We are here at the monthly meeting of Mugz. They have peeled back the velvet curtain and allowed us to film. This is John. He's the new president, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
The new president of Mugz. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Was there some sort of a coup or what happened there?
Well, you know, it's a big struggle of power.
Yeah, right.
Had to take Kurt down.
Yeah, finally, Kurt is gone. By the way, he'll be joining us on a future episode. But you're now the new president of Mugz. Now, for the uninitiated, people who don't know, Mugz is something that is for people in the Quad Cities who are home brewers, right?
Yeah, so Mugz is a homebrew club that's been around for about 30 years. We've got about 35 members, and it's all about the love of beer, making it, sharing it with your friends. We do a lot of community events to support various charities and kind of share beer.
So is everyone who's in the group a home brewer? Is that a necessity? Do you have to be a home brewer to be a member of Mugz?
No. You just really have to love beer.
Check. I'm in. Just have to be a fan of beer. That's it.
You gotta be a fan of beer. We usually have in meetings, we cover an educational, so you can learn something about beer. We drink beer and share it, so you get to try beer and tell, you know, what do you like the best, and give people feedback.
So it's a great way to, if you're someone that's passionate about beer, to learn a lot about it.
Definitely.
And then maybe if you want to dip your toes into making it yourself, although, good God, that's a lot of work.
It's a bit of work.
What makes this different, though, from just a regular Friday night with a bunch of hopheads is you guys talk about in-depth beer culture stuff involving a variety of topics. Yeast sometimes is something that you talk a lot about. You talk a lot about fermentation.
Definitely. So this month, one of our members actually got a yeast that is supposed to be temperature independent. So you can brew a beer. Normally when you brew an ale, you try to do it in the 60s and keep it kind of steady.
Right.
This yeast is supposed to be able to produce beer, and you can treat it like heck. So you could get it in the 80s, the 90s, and drop it down, and it's supposed to produce the same beer.
Okay, I'm skeptical of that, but go ahead.
Yeah, so we actually did a sample test where we had a blind triple test. Didn't tell people which beer was which. What we found out was, yes, this yeast will produce beer that tastes the same, just happens to have an off flavor.
Right.
So if you make a very hoppy ale, a dark beer, you could probably hide it, and maybe it's helpful. But our suggestion would just be use the right yeast and use good technique and make good beer.
Yeah, there's no shortcuts to making great beer, right? Isn't that the lesson?
Yeah, treat it right, you'll be good.
So the beer that your members make, I have to imagine there's as many different styles that they make as there are different members.
Oh, definitely. So you get everything from like a light lager, like beers, you know, like a Pilsner or something akin to like a Bud Light or whatnot that people like to make, all the way to your hoppy beers, your sour beers, your dark beers. So, you know, just today we probably had, you know, 10 to 20 different types of beers, all very good. Occasionally somebody will bring something because they think something's wrong with it, and you'll give them that feedback.
Being able to figure out what's wrong is as important when you say it's figuring out what went right.
Yeah, and so this year we actually partnered with somebody that actually had a beer certification.
Right.
And we went down to their establishment, and they actually served us beer and spiked it with different off flavors.
Right, there's an outfit in Chicago that sells little kits where you can drop stuff in beer to make it taste like different things have gone wrong.
So we've even done that. So we've used club meetings where we taught people what is the off flavor, how is it produced, and how do you avoid it. Like you mentioned before, some people are brewers that are very active and have very good palates and give you really good feedback. Some people are novices. So you get the whole spectrum.
Right.
And you get people that say they're a beer nerd, they think they know what they're talking about, and they don't.
Those people can get exposed pretty easily.
Yeah.
But this is not a group where you're out to try and out-nerd each other beer-wise. Again, this is about learning, and when you're offering a beer up here, if you homebrew and you bring it to a Mugz meeting, you're looking for genuine feedback from people that know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
If everyone's just telling you that the beer you made in your basement is delicious, when in fact it might not be, that's not doing anybody any good.
No. and so you give people feedback. You want to learn, like, is my beer good? What can I change about my process? And there are members of this club that range from the absolute novice. So today there were a couple people that came to the meeting that had brewed one batch and don't know what they're doing yet and would like to learn, And then we also had members at this meeting that are professional brewers that make beer in breweries around the Quad Cities in Iowa and Illinois. So,
but all of them are equally welcome to attend these
definitely.
things. Right on.
And you really get that warmth and that sharing of information. So the professional brewers from the area are very approachable. They'll give you good feedback. It's very positive in terms of saying it in a nice way. But you also learn good feedback from people that are brand new, because everybody likes different beers, and you learn different things.
What are you working on right now?
So right now I've got a.
Did you bring something here to the meeting?
Yeah, I got a few.
Okay.
So I've got a amber ale that I made and I dry hopped quite a bit. That was for a competition we did last month.
Okay.
I've been all grain brewing, which is where you do it from scratch for years. We had a competition to ask people to go back to the old school, where you would just use dry malt extract and make like a kit beer.
Right.
And so I brought that, and then I also brought an English barley wine that I made that I've been aging for about 2 years. It's about 13% alcohol.
Really?
Yeah. So.
And you have that here at the meeting?
I do have that here at the meeting.
Well, I don't want to call you a liar, but until I see it, I don't know that I would like to try that very much.
You might have to test that and Uber at the same time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, good, all right. No, that's the wow.
Doesn't turn out the way you want. Just blame that on us.
Call this, laborious failure.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All brewed up, something like that. Doesn't have to be specifically my failure. Doesn't seem fair. Was there a talent portion? Would you have to get in a swimsuit?
Thankfully, no.
Right.
Because nobody wants to see that.
Well, after a couple meads, you're the president of Mugz.
Yes.
Do you ever get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and just tweet random nonsense that no one can understand?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well then there it is.